Mr. Chairman, I believe I have a substitute.
All right.
I move my substitute. Senator Saslaw seconds my substitute.
He's not here, but Louise,
I second.
I've been moved and seconded that the substitute be adopted to Senate Bill 1468. All in favor say aye. Aye. All opposed, no. Motion carries. Okay, Senator Surovell, substitute to Senate Bill 1468.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. So this is a bill that we haven't seen before. So what it has to do with U visas and T visas. So a U visa is available to an undocumented immigrant who is a victim of criminal activity. A T visa is available to somebody who's a victim of human trafficking. And the way they get that visa is they get somebody with law enforcement, typically a victim services coordinator, police officer, somebody like that, to certify that they were a victim of a crime, they were subject to mental or physical abuse, or that they are a human trafficking victim. And once they get that certification, they can then give that to ICE, and then that visa is issued. The problem is and under federal law, they have 6 months. It's a 6-month application process. But sometimes the law enforcement agency doesn't have a person designated to receive it, and sometimes they don't turn it around quickly, and sometimes if they turn it down, they don't give an explanation. So basically what the bill does is it requires every law enforcement agency in Virginia to designate a person on staff to receive applications for these certifications and to certify forms. It requires them to respond within 120 days as to whether or not the person, to fill out the form, to either say yes or no. If they say no, they have to state in writing why they're denying that application. And then if they deny it, on lines 102 to I think 123 creates an appeal process where the person can go to circuit court and ask a circuit court to certify that they were a victim in order for them to be able to apply to get that visa. The bill basically incentivizes folks that have immigration problems to cooperate in prosecutions so that we will incentivize people to help, affect, prosecutions of people that are guilty of crimes. And it's been passed, I think, in 10, 12, 15 other states now. There's a few people on the line that testify in support of the bill, and that's what it does.
Okay, any discussion? Anybody want to speak in favor of the bill?
Xavier Rivera, please go ahead.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. My name is Xavier Rivera. I'm a partner at Priele and Racine in Fairfax, Virginia. I've been practicing exclusively immigration law for over 20 years. And in the course of my career, I've seen hundreds of people apply for this visa, and some of them have been truly prejudiced by delays in obtaining law enforcement certification. Some of the effects they've experienced are being ordered removed, deported from the U.S. Some of their children have aged out of the benefits because of delayed law enforcement certification. So I strongly support this bill. I think it'll help provide a structure where law enforcement is accountable, where they have to provide a timely response. And I also think it'll go a long way towards strengthening the trust and the cooperation between law enforcement and the community. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Next.
Brian Murray, please go ahead.
Hi, my name is Brian Murray. I'm also an immigration attorney. I'm based in Fairfax, Virginia. I speak today in support of Senate Bill 1468. This bill will establish sorely needed guidelines for law enforcement agencies and transparency in the process for victims of serious violent crimes and victims of trafficking to obtain important certifications. Under federal law, certain state and local officials are empowered to certify an immigrant victim's cooperation by completing a simple form. That certification, combined with other evidence, may be submitted to federal immigration officials, who then, the immigration officials then decide whether the individual is deserving of a temporary non-immigrant status, a U or T visa, as has been discussed. These protections are provided as a humanitarian matter, but also it's important to note, it's equally important to know that this is a public safety matter. If immigrants in our communities do not feel safe to work with police and prosecutors when they've been victimized, then criminals simply will not be caught, and our Commonwealth will be less safe. Currently across Virginia, victims of trafficking and other serious and violent crimes seeking these victim certifications encounter inconsistent and opaque process. Some law enforcement agencies do not have protocols for signing. Others refuse to sign or even review requests altogether. Others are known to arbitrarily deny requests based on their own discretion or their own personal views on immigration. 20 other states already have a bill like this. it's time that Virginia inject statewide standards and clarity to this process.
Okay, thank you very much. Next.
Cynthia L. Guzman, please go ahead.
Hi, my name is Cindy Laurius, and I'm an immigration attorney in Fairfax, Virginia, here to support SB 1468. For years, I practiced law in Chicago, Illinois, where I represented survivors of human trafficking and sexual assault. In 2018, Illinois passed the Voices Act, which is similar to the bill being proposed today. The Voices Act was proposed and passed in Illinois, like in Virginia, because victims of these horrific crimes who once cooperated with law enforcement agencies were now being largely ignored. After the Voices Act, lines of communication between victims, advocates, and law enforcement agencies were opened and created opportunities for trainings. Law enforcement agencies used the act as a blueprint to better support and engage immigrant communities in their jurisdictions. And it even created opportunities to reopen cases previously closed due to simple lack of miscommunication based on a lack of language access. I want the same for Virginia. Last week, I received a denial of a certification from a local Virginia police department for a victim of domestic violence. When I asked why it was denied, the response I received in an email ended with, "This police department does not offer an explanation for the decision to sign or not to sign a certification. Our victims simply deserve more." Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Next.
Maggie OBrien, please go ahead.
Good evening. I want to preface my remarks here that I am absolutely in favor of the concept of what this bill is trying to do. I have a large immigrant community in Herndon, and representative of the Virginia Chiefs, I want to make clear that we do support this process. We don't feel this bill meets that because in addition to the qualifying crime, there are two additional factors that have to be made when deciding to sign the certification. And in my agency, I'm the one who signs them, for example. And it's, did they cooperate with the investigation and have they committed any other concerning crimes? The concern is here 120 days may not be enough to know if they've really fully cooperated. The problem with this with the legislation, the way the form is laid out right now, I get that form on my desk. I have to do the research, the background to make sure that they did cooperate, that the crime was qualifying. But if I sign that thing before we've gotten very far in the prosecution, at any point in time, that person can withdraw the cooperation. We want cooperation. We want to make sure that it works, but we want the law to be functional so that we can balance both sides. Lastly, I would like to say that the Virginia Chiefs absolutely support policy that would ensure that agencies comply with filling these forms out and that they have policies in place so the public knows exactly how they're supposed to process these forms.
Do you have a suggested amendment or something? I mean, would you like to talk with legislative services about improving the bill?
I would love to work with them on behalf of the Virginia Chiefs because I think we can come to a compromise and come to a good place because we do support the concept of ensuring these forms are at least processed. The problem with the forms now, there's nowhere on those forms for me to write my denial there. There's no process for me to write it. It's either sign it or don't. And that leaves us in a very difficult spot. I can't falsify a form and put that information on there. Cannot put my name on a form that I cannot completely support at that point.
Okay, Charles, could you check with her and consult with her and Kristen?
Mr. Chairman.
See what improvements might be necessary. Yeah, Senator Surovell.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I mean, I'm really used to working with Chief DeBoard. She's a pleasure to work with, and I gave a draft of this to her before. I'm pretty sure that if circumstances change after a certification is made, you're allowed to communicate that to ICE to see if they will change their visa status. But I'm happy to continue to work with her through this process to confirm that she's able to do what she wants to do. I made some changes to this already in response to her feedback, and so happy to keep working.
Yeah, I might not have seen all of those. I apologize. I will be glad to work with you and take another look at it because we do support the concept, absolutely.
That'd be great. Okay, thank you very much. Who else? Is another person wants to speak for the bill?
Simon Sandoval Motionberg.
Good evening, Mr. Chairman. Simon Sandoval Motionberg, Legal Director of the Immigrant Advocacy Program at the Legal Aid Justice Center. In response to Chief DeBoard's comments, I want to point out that the substitute at lines 94 through 96 absolutely provides that once a certification is issued, it can always be withdrawn if the victim unreasonably refuses to continue to assist in investigation. So that concern is already baked into the bill, and there's already a proviso that allows for certifications to be withdrawn if someone stops cooperating. This is the most important, the U visa is the most important tool that law enforcement has to build trust within the immigrant community. They've been given this tool by federal law, but up till now, there's been no state guidance or guardrails whatsoever on how to use it. This bill would provide that guidance. The timelines are critically important, and the ability to seek review in circuit court is also critically important, because without the ability to seek circuit court review, the timelines are meaningless. And so for all of those reasons, Legal Aid Justice Center supports the bill, and we do believe that in its current form, the substitute adequately addresses the concerns that the chief raised.
Okay, anybody else want to speak on the bill or against the bill? One way or the
At
other?
this time, there are no other hands raised.
Okay, is we ready for a motion?
Move to report, Boysko seconds.
Move to report the, is it substitute or as amended?
Yes.
The bill is-
Mr. Chair,
Yes, Charles?
I don't mean to derail the proceedings, but I'm having a large technical difficulties over here, so the substitute is not currently posted online. It has been described in detail by Senator Surovell and by the witnesses as to what it does, but I was just alerting you that right now it is not posted online. It is a substitute, and it has been described, and I know the committee has acted before.
Why don't we do this? Why don't we wait till Monday? We've heard the testimony, and you can look at the substitute, and Senator Surovell can check with the Chief to Board, perhaps between now and Monday, and staff can consult with Surovell to make sure it is a substitute that you want. Is that okay? We'll hold off till Monday. We've heard the testimony. We don't need to hear any more testimony. We'll deal with it first thing Monday morning. Is that okay? All right, without objection, that's what we'll do.
Mr. Quagliato tells me that my substitute on the immigration certification cooperation bill is up online now, and so I think 1468. So I think we could vote that now if you like.
Okay. All right, you got a motion?
I move to report. Senator Boysko seconds.
Is
Senate
there-
Bill 1468.
All right, any discussion? All in favor of the motion to report the substitute to Senate Bill 1468, vote aye. All opposed, no.
Ayes 8, noes 3.